Good morning to our beloved instructor, Mr. Melodrin Valias. Good morning, teachers, and good morning, classmates. My name is Ronald Heroy, and I am your discussant for this morning entitled about the reading teachers. So what comes in your mind when you hear the word the reading teachers? Yes, thank you classmates for your different opinion about the reading teachers. Let me first define what is the reading teachers. So, reading teachers is also called the language of art of the teacher. So this instruction of students in the reading, speaking, listening, and writing. And this job you can also teach to your students in the different ways, like on how to pronounce proper word, spell correctly, and practice listening skills. And also you can also student help them to master their comprehension, fluency, and their vocabulary. Every child deserves an excellent reading teachers. What is an excellent way of the reading teachers? So according to the experiential learning, it is a great teaching methods because it is the encouragement of the student to be a creativity, to be creative. And it helps also students to learn from their mistakes, foster reflective thinking, and also prepare our students for their future experiences. The teacher is the X factor. Many articles and reports focusing on the educational reform mention that the teachers on the top of the list when they enumerate what's wrong with our schools or what is the biggest problem of our school today. So according to the government founding for the educational in the Philippines, as the first problem or in the school as the school safety because we don't have the security guard, and the second one is the disciplinary policy because we lack also the guidance counselor in our school, and the third one is the technology in education. We must know that the technology it is the useful tools in education to deliver to our learners or to our student the learning materials that we need them to learn for that specific areas of specialization. They include the special sections that zero in on the teacher as the major cause of the low quality of education. Why? So what is the low quality of education? Poor quality of education is leading into the poor learning outcomes in our educational system here in the Philippines. Why? Because pushing children out of the educational system and leading them to vulnerable to child labor, abuse, and violence. So many classrooms continue to be characterized by the teacher-centered rote in the learning, such as corporal punishment and discrimination. So what is the cause of the low quality of the education? First is the poverty. That factors linked to the poverty such as unemployment or illness and the illiteracy of the parents. So multiple the risk of non-schooling and the dropout of the child is the cause of all of our low quality education in our educational system here in the Philippines. Chapter 5 of the EDCOM, Congressional Committee on Education, reports in 1991 as entitled Teacher at the Heart of the Problem. What does it mean to be a teacher at the heart of the problem? So according to the Rochelle, believes that at the heart of every great teacher is lies for kindness, compassion, empathy, positivity, the desire to build something, and the will to inspire. So, what is the role of the teacher during the problem activities? So, the teacher have to become expert at creating questions that require students to reach back to the information and skills already attained will figure out what they need to learn next in order to solve the problems. So, what is the greatest challenges facing of the teachers today? During a pandemic time, teaching or the teachers has involved a different challenges in the classroom situation, like classroom management, creating engagement lesson planning, time management, and reaching diversity of learning styles to the student. And some things on the teacher as plans. Because, diba, like in the pandemic, we don't have students. So that's why those challenges of the teacher, we didn't come up to the one specific environment on. Chapter 14 of the reports of the U.S. Commission on Excellence in Education in 1983, titled A Nation at Risk, the imperatives for educational report provides an extensive discussion of the teacher's struggles to teach both the cognitive and affective aspects of reading. So why reading as cognitive process a struggle as a teacher? Because it involves decoding of symbols to arrive the meaning. So the reading also in the cognitive aspects is an active process of constructing meanings of words, and reading also with a purpose help the readers to direct information towards a goal and focuses on the attention of the reading. While in the effective of reading is that the teaching is referred to a personal lives of the children, including the perceptions, emotions, and the behavior of our students. So that is the focus as was on the valuing process is the clarifying of attitude, preferences, the aspiration and relationship of the children inside the classroom. If the teachers are in the heart of the instructions, then they should be at the care of any educational reform. So what is the educational reforms? So in the educational reforms, it is the term of the goal of the changing of the public of education in terms of the educational theory and practices, where the educational reform is one focus on the inputs and another also focus on the output in such as the student achievement. For the example, the behavior of the student is can affect also the achievement of the students. Teachers' attitudes play a crucial role in influencing reading teacher. Why? Because teachers need to make more of a role in reinforming schools by teachers' evaluation, giving students a quality of education, and by creating more comprehensive and equitable system of assessing student progress, like in test scores, exams, and many more assessment of our students. What are the effective consideration of a teachers? So first, the high expectation of students and of themselves as a teacher. So why the teacher should have the high expectation for students? Why? Because the teachers who demonstrate the highest expectation that shows their students that they are expected the challenges at a high quality of work. That's why the teacher is high expectation to the students, and also that role is to remove the barriers of the students and the teachers. The second effective is the warm and caring attitude demonstrated to the students. So, what are the good attitudes of a student? First is the self-discipline. It must in a student and life. The second one is the diligent. So a student should be determined towards how many work allotted to given to them. The second or the third one is the punctual. So the punctual is every student to must value of time, and also the confident and the responsible for the responsibility. So how would you demonstrate care and compassion to your student? Is to show your care. That the simplest way of demonstrate to your students you are care to them, have compassionate for them, as to tell them often it is a different way. So the genuine praise for the task, asking questions about their day, and sharing with them about your life, and excellent ways to show your students that you are care to them. The third one is the teaching focus on the needs of the students, not the specific content. So what is the content is focus methods of the teaching? So in the content focused teaching methods, both the learners and the teachers have to fit the content or the thought of the lesson of that day. So in the generally, this means that the informations and skills to be taught are regardless as the very important. So as a teacher, you did not focus on that specific content of the subject matter, but on beyond the subject matter that apply the students on their personal lives and the everyday lives of our students. The fourth one is highly flexible, enthusiastic, and imaginative instruction. So what does it mean to be a flexible and adaptable teacher or imaginative teacher? So being a flexible means incorporating this feedback into your teaching strategy, and also on the spot of changes may also need to be based on the certain situation in the classroom. For the examples, you are teaching in the Farplang barangay. So you don't teach the highly pronunciation of words, the idiomatic words to your students, because they don't know understand about that. So you can change it to the common uses of words, common words that they applied in the communicating to their students. So that's why you are adaptable also the environment, and you are flexible also as a teacher. How would you decide an enthusiastic teacher? So as an enthusiastic teacher in the classroom, you give them excitement, enjoyment, and anticipation, engaging your student to participate during your class discussion. And also, if you are a teacher of enthusiasm or enthusiastic, you are have the curiosity of the students that they motivated them to learn. 5. High levels of personal comfort during interaction with students. So why it is important for the students to feel comfortable in the classroom? Because when your classrooms have the elements of comfortable, your students are most likely to relax and open up to share the information to their classmates. And making your classroom versatile and flexible, you will allow your students to share another information or to gain another information by their classmates also. The teacher behaviors contributing to the student learning were found to be, according to Christopher 1990 and Dwyer 1993. First is the vocal expression. So the vocal expression is about how you deliver your message with words and how you express those words. When you have good vocal expression, when you can convey emotions and character to your audiences, it's the assembly of your speech, your pronunciation, and the speed rather, of your speaking. The second one is smiling. Just smiling your students that you can catch up their behavior and relax and body position that you can say that you are a teacher of a good behavior to your students. The teacher as a scholar factors. So do we have the competencies to empower our students? Absolutely yes. We can empower our students in the classroom. First, help our students to find their passion. The second one, recognize our students who participated and share their thoughts to their classmates. Then, personalize lessons and make them relevant. Share them personal experiences to the others and make them also relevant or irrelevant about the other life experiences. The second one, encourage debate and expression of ideas and opinions to others. Then, the brainstorming with the students inside the classroom. And the last thing is the most important, is the have patient to the classroom. As a teacher, our main task is to develop students who can and do read. Absolutely yes. That is the first task of us as a teacher inside the classroom. You can teach to read your student, that they can read, that they can write, that they can evaluate, comprehend it, and most important is they can also reflect what is all about the reading of the text. So we cannot teach what we don't know. Absolutely. We don't not have teach what we don't know. That's why we are mastering or we are studying in masteral to enhance our knowledge that our students to be more knowledgeable also. To remain a student himself or herself, the teacher must be naturally curious, always asking questions like, first, how do I stimulate learning? First, let your child or student know you believe you believe him or her. Tell your student often that you believe him or her. The second one, have a positive attitude toward your school and the learning environment. Then make sure your student have answer your given homework. Then how do I set my student ablaze with the desire of knowledge? First, let your students see and read the specific task given. The second, allow your student to read all those books or learning materials before you ask them a question. Then, let your student choose their own opinions about this knowledge. How can I make them a lifelong learners? So how your students into lifelong learners? First, develop their innovation skills. Then, encourage them to be a critical thinkers. Then, encourage them to be independent learners. Then the second one is to use technology to improve their knowledge and be a further reading books. So teachers have an obligation to continue to be learners, to study, to seek out the latest research, to ponder their developing knowledge on the reading process. That's why we study masteral. To improve, to enhance, to adopt the different techniques, the different strategies, the different knowledge that we can also apply it in teaching to our students. So according to Manning, a reading teacher must have the continuing education and the following. First, the professional literature. The professional literature, it is the most important importance of literature as the students. Why? Because literature is the provide of language model for those who hear it or read it. By using a literature test, a student learn new words, syntax, discourse function, and they learn correctly sentence patterns, standard story structure, and also they develop their writing skills. The second one is the subject matter. So the subject matter is something such as the book, lecture, film, or painting, and the thing that is being written about, discussed or shown it. And the reading curriculum. So the reading curriculum is the program. Focus in the reading curriculum includes the creating effective reading lessons and units based on the student assessment and evaluating and adapting existing reading programs to meet the student needs inside the classroom. The last one is the reading methodology. So in the reading methodology, you have skimming, sometimes referred to a guest reading, means going through the next or the text gaps of the main idea. Scanning, here the reader quickly scattered across the sentences to get a particular information. Then intensive reading and also the extensive reading. The teacher as the romanticist. So what is the romanticist or romanticism in teaching? Romanticist believes that the knowledge is gained through the intuition rather than deduction. This is a student-centered philosophy that is focused differentiation approach to the student. So the student learning is readiness needs. And also, this romanticism is the teacher here is always the facilitator. So as a teacher must be a romanticist, possessing the wisdom and ensures her student use of reading as a personal and a societal fulfillment. So such as wisdom, says Manning, includes immersion in the world of books, stories, and poetry and drama. So being literature examples demonstrate by their knowledge and by their language familiarity with the literature that has the guaranteed personal liberty and intellectual freedom for all to know and it. So understand and acceptance of why students communicate as they do. Then, the greatest gift the teacher can give to the students is the unpredicted romantic love affair with language and books, a gift that shall remain long after the sweet, gentle memories of school have the time and faded forevermore. That could be